Okay. What surprised you the most about this?
About what?
About the SEC investigation?
Well, they know the truth. They know me. They know the fund because they got everything that we've ever done. They have all of my documents. And when I met with them, the deposition lasted 6 hours the first time. And they brought all kinds of information about NVC, contracts and agreements and all the transactions we've done over the years. You know, because they got that from different sources. And they asked me to provide, they gave me a litany of list of documents that I should provide. And then after I provided those, I have to swear that every information that I've sent them everything that is required, that they asked for. I mean, they sent me these letters with threats of all kinds of you know, if we don't do this, we're going to face. Because at that time I didn't know much about the rules and regulations of the SEC.
Because you're not public.
No, because they are so convoluted and confusing that I didn't want to concentrate my effort in learning their rules, because it's like they're going and coming at the same time. The rules this of this of this of this. I mean, code this or that. It's all mumbo jumbo. But those who play in the public arena understood or have batteries or lawyers that learn those things. So I'm not in the public arena. Even though I had security licenses years ago, even though I was in that world, but never in that depth. I was a financial planner. I didn't run a public company. So, but I felt like if I had my financial statement done by qualified, certified public accountants with MBA degrees, this is what they do. They understand accounting. And I've done that. And I am investing the trust shares, the trust units, which are private, non-publicly trading. But I run the fund like a public company. Nobody forced me to do accounting and audits, but I did all of that. The fund it's not as if we have outside shareholders. We don't take money from investors because we have our own assets. So we trade with our own trust units backed by the assets of the trust. The trust owns those. And the trust is divided into a billion trust unit, which is like the shares, but in this case, a trust. So we provide collateral, we provide the balance sheet to support companies that require the balance sheet strength. That's our business model. So when a public company comes to us and it requires assets for their balance sheet, so they will have, because they have lenders that will give them a line of credit on the basis if they can secure the collateral asset to back it up. So that was the arrangement. It's not as if we were trading NVC fund in the public. We were using it to back a line of credit that lenders have agreed to provide to these public companies if they can secure the collateral assets to back it. Because the companies on themselves, their balance sheet was bad. They have no assets. So that was the basis of the transaction. And they agreed they were going to pay us 10% return on the $700 million in assets. So that was it. And I explained that to the SEC. The SEC understood that. But why they decided that they will enjoin us with the public company for whatever they have done, which the charge of a pump and dump really did not exist, because when I saw the charges, after they said they were going to file a, well, they confused, sort of confusing, because what I saw was a complaint. A complaint is, from my understanding, is not a claim. Because I said, okay, so based on what I'm looking at, who is the injured party? Who did we injure? Who is making a claim against NVC Fund that we had damaged them? Because we are the damaged party. Why you've been dragging on for 3 years with, at the end, you filing a complaint without an injured party? You filing a complaint on behalf of yourself as a plaintiff, the SEC as a plaintiff, and making charges because you felt like we provided a deceptive information to market professionals, broker dealer, and transfer agent. Don't make any sense. So you've wasted my time, energy trying to win on technicalities. You've removed the mystery. I thought you were honorable. I thought you wanted to know the facts. You have all the facts. Now you're lying in an attempt to damage NVC Fund in the public, because that's what I was just, it's slanderous. It's libel. I mean, I have enough difficulties with the size of NVC Fund in the public, because it's unbelievable. Then the SEC, which I thought was an honorable organization, was an honorable agency, that they were really interested in the facts, now knowing the facts, now deciding to lie about the facts in the public. Now that is unacceptable to me.
You gave them everything they asked for, and they still came charging for it. Where do you stand now?
Well, after I've given them everything that they needed to ascertain whether NVC Fund was actually participated in a quote-unquote pump and dump, and they found out that NVC Fund was not a shareholder, so we didn't sell any stock. As a matter of fact, the transaction was even still sitting in escrow. They have not met the terms for us to close the transaction at that time. I thought that would end the matter, because there was nothing else to prove. But they did not stop there. They started asking for private trust documents. They started asking for the name of my kids, my parents, their bank account, access to my private, how I pay my bills. You know, in other words, they were fishing, just harassing me. I said, no, I'm not going to provide you those information, because they are not required for you to ascertain the purpose of your inquiry, which is to make a determination whether NVC Fund was involved in whether we were involved in a pump and dump. You called me to testify. I was not an officer of those companies. I run a venture capital company that invested in those companies. Okay, so really, I have no no hand in what you're trying to make a determination. But you went on and on and on. Now you're asking for things that doesn't belong. Now you're fishing. I'm not going to give you those information because they are not necessary. You have the facts on your hands already. I've met with you for 10 hours. I've answered all your questions, but you felt, oh no, you haven't satisfied us. I said, I'm not, we're not going any further. Well, you said, the SEC said, well, we can force you to give us every information that we ask for. I say, how? I said, they're going to go to court and get a court order. I said, well, if you go to the court and secure a court order, then I'll give you every information that you need. So they went to court. I did not fight them because I didn't, I have all the information, just that I didn't want to voluntarily give it to them because it's not required. So they went to court and filed, and they got, I did not challenge them. I did not challenge them in court. If the court grants you the right to get those documents, then I'll give it to the court. Not because you're asking me, but because the court asked for them. Okay. Then when they got a subpoena order, now they got real emboldened. Oh, well, Mr. Ekejija, we secured a subpoena. And so now you don't have any choice but to give us everything that we asked for. I said, okay. And they published it that they got a subpoena order compelling myself and NVC Fund to provide them all the information that they seek. And they published it. So now you've told the world, because I did not really know what the subpoenas really mean because at the same time that issue was going on in Congress with the President of the United States talking about subpoenas. So I paid attention to what all that really meant. Subpoena, okay. Now you're getting a subpoena, that means that you got every information you needed. Now you satisfied? Yes. Okay, you have everything. Now, they called me back in for a final interview. I said, you got all the information. What do you need me for? Oh, we have to depose you again. We will continue from where we stopped the last time over almost a year ago. Oh, Lord have mercy. I said, okay. So I met with them again, this time for the final interview for 4 hours, going over all my informations, everything that they asked for. After that interview, I thought, now that you have everything, good. Now you can close the matter and let me go in peace, because I have nothing else to give to you. You got everything, right? And you know that I was not involved in a pump and dump, so the matter should be over with. So I was waiting for, I said, okay, so what is the next move? I was expecting a letter from them saying that, well, we found out that you were not involved in pump and dump, and so the matter ends. But that did not happen. I don't know all the processes that they go through, but I really thought that the SEC was an honorable institution, that they were interested in the facts, in the truth. Then I received a letter that, well, that they are considering filing charges against NVC Fund. I said, for what? He said, well, I provided misleading information. What misleading information? Well, that I claimed that NVC Fund financial statements were audited, but the financial auditor said they did not express an audit opinion, that they only did a review. I said, you have the financial statement all along from the beginning. You've seen what we've done before that. You have the source documents. You have all the background information. In other words, it's like you redid the accounting practically, because you have all of the information that the accountants had. And you've been going about this now for over 2.5 years at that time. What is it that the accountant said that you don't have? You ask for all of the past accounting records. We've been doing accounting since 2008. Back in 2008 or 2009, we started out with about 1.3 trillion. But that was because we only had a certain amount of those claims recorded. The accountants this time recorded all of our claims. We had 22 claims. And they recalculated and gave us the true accurate figure. We've been trading with those assets. We've been involved in buy-sell, high-yield investment programs, and we issue our own notes. We issue our own letters of guarantees. I mean, you have all those records. You know we have more than what we claim in the public. You're having difficulties processing the numbers. So it sounds unbelievable to you. And so, is that wrong that an entity accomplished more than what you believe they should be able to accomplish? Is that your issue? You're going to file a charge against us for what purpose? Because now, are we still talking about a pump and dump, or we into something else? You asking us to give you a reason why the SEC shouldn't file a charge against us. I gave you reasons why you shouldn't, why it doesn't make sense. But here we are. You decided to go file a complaint. When I look through their 46, 49-page complaint, it was amazing to me. Wow. So you after you investigated all these companies, all these entities and their principals, this is the best you can come up with? A bunch of innuendos, lies, slander, inflammatory words that you're using, and you sandwich NVC Fund in the midst of it for things that NVC Fund is not connected or knows anything about. What is your purpose? You just want to damage me and nullify my work and the efforts of NVC Fund just because you have this government agency, the Securities and Exchange Commission, that you are working for? Is this the position of the, or is this the prejudice of the SEC officers? I don't get it. I really don't, because they've created so much, they've dug themselves so deep, and it's time for me to respond to them. And so I responded back to them.